Welcome back, guys, to Trails Through Daybreak 2, where last episode, after sweeping past the Mezzaldam's Port Capriccio at night, encountering Gotti and Dominique having drinks together at the club, we picked up a 4 SPG from one of Judith's movie co-stars, Ethan Smith, who had a stalker problem. Setting out on the streets to find an unknown woman, we followed a trail to the lighthouse as the stalker threatened to stab a kidnapped Ethan due to what the actor had done to her, with Van giving the aggressor time to think by staging a coin toss as we defuse the situation to resolve actor malefactor. Another 4 SPG now awaits. So, quest complete, another one waiting for us. Let's do a little more talking before starting the next one. Provided all goes well, this year's Mezzaldam Film Festival should be held as scheduled. Our executive committee is wholly in favor of taking hard measures, such as bolstering security to ensure that we do not balk to terrorist threats. Additionally, a growing number of them seek to introduce a variety of new approaches from here on out. Currently, we're using the success of the Farbad Film Festival as a frame of reference to devise a way to pushing the envelope in our own right.
Well...
Although the Mezzaldam Film Festival emphasizes artistry, that doesn't necessarily mean it dismisses popcorn entertainment outright. Adopting a brand new direction can be one of several possible avenues to further improve the event. To that end, sorry, I was pretty confused there because that was Judith's voice, wasn't it? Judith's advertising her own thing. To that end, Director Gotti's behind-the-scenes story from the Farbad Film Festival were very helpful to hear. It was distracting me, Judith.
Why not buy a souvenir to remember your visit?
Movies are different from novels. They have their own unique way of touching the hearts of others and portraying the truths of the world. Our city's film festival has made that abundantly clear, paving the way for the general populace to recognize cinema for its artistic merit. I just want to make sure no one forgets what the Mezzaldam Film Festival's main purpose has been all this time.
The showing on screen 2 will soon begin.
Welcome.
Welcome. Would you like to? I can watch movies again?
Silence your phones and enjoy the film.
Okay. More than one movie every time we do a sweep, by the look of it. Or like have that random period where we can go to a movie that night.
Robin, the Lady Justice.
So we're at night. Do we want to watch Pon the Crop Muncher, a drama, or a horror movie at night?
But I will bring it to life.
Let's watch some horror. Will you be watching with anyone else? Yes, with Katara and Judith.
We have merchandise for the movie on sale at the shop.
Horror's watched at night, right? Van headed into the theatre with his company of choice, having decided to watch a movie during their work break. We've already got 2 movies down. Must be a load of movies. It's probably what's going on here. Lizzie, a diffident introvert, is struggling to adjust to her new public-facing job. One night, she stares into a mirror and whispers to her reflection, "I wish I could change. I wish I could express myself. My real self." Several days pass and suddenly Lizzie finds herself inundated with thank yous and incessant praise for a successful sales streak. Lizzie contemplates how this might have happened, and despite the insanity of the idea, begins to wonder if this was the work of another her. One day she notices a co-worker slacking off and thinks to herself, why bother coming to the office if you're not going to do anything? Other stray thoughts run across her mind, such as, I wish my annoying neighbor Barbara would just die already. The next day, Lizzie learns the slacker got into a traffic accident on the way to work. Distraught, she races over to Barbara's apartment.
No! Don't come any closer! Stop! Please!
Barbara, are you okay? My, how curious. Since when did I have a look-alike? No, it's just like I feared. My wish actually came true. Please, just drop the knife. I don't want this. I don't want this at all. Liar. You know, you remind me of how I used to be. A filthy, yellow-bellied coward. But I'm not that person anymore. I changed. I decided to accept myself just as I am. Now I have the courage to make my own choices, like killing poor, miserable Barbara.
2 Lizzies? What's going on? I don't understand.
There's no time to explain. Barbara, get up! We have to run! So, I have my very own doppelganger, and she actually thinks she's the real me. How cute. I'll allow her to live out that fantasy for a while. Ever since I made that wish, I've felt so free. But if she tries to take that away from me, I'll cast a light on that two-faced lie and make her fade into nothing.
It's like a splitting of conscience. Katra, you okay, bud? I'm alright. I normally don't have any trouble with horror. I was even fine with that other horror movie from last year. But everything involving the mirror hit a little closer to home than I expected. Yeah, I can see why. I see mirrors are like windows into the soul. Some people even put a cloth over them when they're not. Oh crap, sorry, shutting up now. Wouldn't want you to develop a mirror phobia or something. No, this is nothing. I'm a boy after all. I won't let myself be swayed by something that has absolutely no basis in science. Don't think being a boy has anything to do with it, Katara. Oh, easy there, Katara. Why did the main character immediately jump to, oh no, I might have a doppelganger? I don't know. It all seems a little contrived to me. Yes, well, that's movies. I don't... That's media. Wow, I didn't think I'd be hearing a scathing critique from you. I will say that the twist caught me off guard. I had no idea that the Lizzie was after Barbara was the real one. The contrast between her introverted self in the first half and the psychopath she turned her into the second worked in the movie's favor. Now that I think about it, that thriller from last year, Sober Curious, was also about how we all have two sides. In the end, sometimes the most terrifying monsters are humans themselves. That's the basis of pretty much all horror, right? Oh, that's very much the zombies. Hey, looks like they're selling commemorative brochures for this movie. Obtain the brochure for shade. Having finished their break, Van and his crew resume their work. Katara's went up. STLM chain effect plus 10%. How many brochures will there be for me to get? Shade. Summary. One evening, our protagonist, an introverted, worry-stricken young woman named Lizzie, finds herself gazing into the mirror, muttering, I wish I could change. A few days later, a series of inexplicable incidents occur, none of which she can recall. Though with strange belief, Lizzie is forced to confront the possibility that there's another Lizzie out there, her doppelganger. Right, where have we not checked out yet? Obviously, the place past the actual marker, and the church. I guess we're going to be on to another quest very shortly. Sorry for not coming earlier, Mina. I had to put in a bit of overtime. That's okay, Dad. More importantly, will you be able to make it to my next recital? Of course, I even wrapped up all of my work so that I could take the day off to see you. I love my dad. He's always trying his hardest to make me happy. But a lot of kids out there don't have anyone to care about them that way, like Jed. Gets me feeling a little guilty. I managed to bring my work to a good stopping point today, so this is going to be the last night I'll leave Mina waiting. Plus, now I'm all freed up to watch a recital. That alone makes the effort worthwhile. Sorry I'm late, Tony. An old friend called and invited me to dinner out of the blue. That's okay, Mama. Mina was with me, so I wasn't scared or lonely or anything. Did you have fun eating with your friend? I certainly did. You're a very sweet boy for asking, and Mina here is quite a dependable young lady. Neither of you are anything at all like that wild child who's been skipping classes lately. But Mama, Jed's not a bad kid. He really isn't. Oh, I love my Mama, and she's always nice to me. But how come she won't even try to understand Jed? Maybe this is just another one of those grown-up things. I only accepted my friend's invitation because I knew Mina was here to keep my boy company. But even so, it wasn't very fair of me to do it. Maybe I'll buy him something as an apology next time. The bribes. First, I have for you a document on the outcomes of juvenile delinquents who previously received rehabilitation support. Next are these projections regarding counseling for patients with drug dependencies. Thank you for putting this all together. I should now be able to visit and consult with the individuals in question without reservation. About that, Father, do you not think that you may be overextending yourself for these people? Going directly to the back streets to speak with them could very well place you in danger. If they genuinely sought our aid, then surely they would come to us instead. I know what you mean to say, Father Krenz, but there are some things that cannot be grasped without direct intervention. To start, we must never disavow them entirely, but instead strive to understand them. Only then will matters come to light. Perhaps, but how far do you intend to take this? If a line isn't drawn somewhere, there will be no end to it. I shall do all I can. That is simply my way of being. No matter who it is we are dealing with, averting our eyes and forsaking them is not the answer. Father Olodion's ideas are true to the Septian teachings as they pertain to salvation for the multitudes. Realistically speaking, there comes a point where we need to set our boundaries. I believe that to be just as a valid choice towards serving our purpose as a church for the city. So long as I am entrusted with the city's place of worship, I intend to treat every citizen equally. I will seek to understand their individual plights, even if at times it requires me to take the bad along with the good. This too is how one must be in order to guide others under the church's teaching. Teachings.
May Adios be with us.
Oh, that boy seems to have both Mina and Tony concern. It's definitely worrisome. Maybe I should broach the subject one more time. Now Father Krenz wouldn't hear of it. But I still want to be of help somehow. Oh, Adios, lend me your guidance. Looks like the church has something going on. I'll just file it in the back of my mind for now. Oh, so you're the quest. I looked right before running across the road after dashing out into the middle of it like a loon. Don't worry. There's a 4SPG on the bulletin board. The artists. Someone had the bright idea to vandalize one of my ships recently. I know I should probably report this to the police, but blowing a gasket over something so trivial will get you nowhere in the city. That's why I'd like to let the perpetrator off with a warning, as well as a chance to straighten out their life. Would you mind helping me find them? If you're interested, I'll be waiting at the far west end of the wharf. Okay, not the lady there then. Of course it's going to be past that. Why are you doing this to me? I mean, I could go into the... No, I will leave the Martian garden. Trying to fit quests in one episode is hard sometimes.
Gotta have the mirror if you want the good stuff.
I don't want to advance the story, but the quest is behind the story advancing point. Oh, maybe I can go around it. Yeah, look at that. Oh, it's the graffiti we noticed earlier. Maybe it's the nun. You must be the guy we're looking for. Arkride Solutions, we hear about the request you posted. Well, if it isn't the Spriggan, thanks for coming. Alright, let's step to it. Why don't you start by giving us some more info about your request? Your note said you wanted us to catch somebody who's been spray painting your boats. That's right, it's turning into a real problem. You see, I run a number of different businesses and we use my ships for foreign trade. But just take a look at this one. That sure is something. Kind of impressive, honestly. They did it so quickly too. One of my employees stepped away for just a moment, and there it was. They did not do that quickly. Look how many different colors there are. Artistically speaking, it's very well done. Yeah, but I get why you wouldn't want a skull mark on a foreign trade vessel. Sounds like somebody was trying to grief you. I don't mean for this to sound accusatory, but is it possible you wronged someone recently? No, I don't believe I have. Not that everything's smooth sailing all the time, but things have been pretty stable in Mezzadam for a while now. However, I have heard a few rumors recently. Apparently, this exact style of graffiti has become quite the common sight in the area, even in public spaces. I suspect that whoever is responsible for those is also the one who did this to my ship. Now that you mention it, I guess we did see some graffiti around town earlier. Still, if it's really that big of an issue, why haven't you taken this to the police yet? Right, it seems a bit odd to reach out to a Spriggan for help. Given the nature of the image, the culprit could easily be held on charges of both property damage and slander. I suppose that's a fair question. But if something like this were enough to rile me up, I'd never be able to do business in Mezzaldam. The thing is, even with our Mata out of town, crime is still pretty high around here. Getting the law involved is a good way to build grudges. By going to a Spriggan, I'm trying to prevent any future retaliation. Is it really that dangerous around here? I guess you can never be too careful about your livelihood. Agreed. If I hadn't heard about Arkride Solutions, I'd be in a world of trouble right now. Anyway, given the situation, if you find the suspect, I'd like to let them off with a simple reprimand. That is, if they agree to help clean their art off my ship. What do you say? Do you think you can help me? Well, it does sound like our kind of job. Still, I'm not too sure about this one, but should we just go ahead and accept anyway? Like, never. They're all +2 now. Alright, it's a deal. We'll take your case. Thank you so much. I'm in your debt. Oh, and just so you know, the rumors didn't specify anything about what the artist looks like. That being said, I believe I've heard they work almost exclusively at night. Using the dark to stay hidden, huh? Makes sense. Sounds like now's as good a time as any to start investigating them. Yeah, let's head to the back streets first. If somebody's slinking around at night, we'll probably find them there. I suppose it is where we're most likely to find our next lead. Well, look at the time. I have some work I need to attend to, so I'll leave you all to it for now. Would you mind giving me a call if you find anything? Feel free to ring me whenever. Will do.
Let's get this party started.
Context matters for things like words being used, right? So, earlier on, I noticed in chat people were talking about Riz and about Trails fans not liking the word Riz being used, but Nadia using Riz made sense
Wanna have a little fun?
to me. In character, you speak, etc. Using grief for that sounds really weird to me. Because griefing is something you do in gaming, but it's not a word that I don't think gets used in real life often, whereas Riz has, you know, it's you speak, it's been around. But griefing is like, isn't that just a gaming term? So why is, I guess Judith, like, gaming isn't really that, I've never heard grief used like that. I get it, like, I understand, like, the translation, in a sense, but, like, I've never seen it used to, like, describe this kind of thing. Sure looks a lot like the art we saw on that ship. Let's ask these guys about it. Hey, you got a minute? We have a few questions about that piece over there. Haven't seen you around here before. Sure, you guys like it too, huh? I've been thinking about it ever since we spotted it earlier. It's incredible. What's this done with spray paint? I doubt a public wall is the best place to be doodling, though. What did you just say? Look, it's not just doodling, alright? It's graffiti. Sorry. It's alright, Katra. Graffiti is still kind of an on-the-rise thing. I'd heard about it before, but this is my first time seeing a piece so up close and personal. Yeah, it's pretty avant-garde. You guys really seem to know your stuff. Can't you just feel the heat pouring off of this thing? The subtle messaging? When the world's trying to rein you in, you gotta break yourself out. I thought this was about causing havoc and wrecking shit. What, man? This is exactly why I don't associate with uncultured losers like you. What'd you just say to me? You're cruising for a bruising, pal. Hey, hold on, guys. To each their own, alright? So I'm guessing you two didn't make this? No, the real artist actually painted right over a piece of our own. I'm sorry to hear that. It's whatever. Just something that happens around here. Only so many places in town that'll let us do art on their walls anyway. It's kind of like a turf battle, but for artists. Of course, if somebody paints over our stuff with something lame, we'd probably just beat their ass. But when it's this good, well, we just gotta deal with it. Yeah, you know, I kind of like their attitude, yeah. We have lots of little unspoken rules like that. It's just how we roll around here. But this newbie doesn't seem to have figured that out yet. Newbie? Like I was saying before, there's places where graffiti is allowed and places where it ain't. See, a long time ago there was this group of punks that liked to paint wherever they wanted, but then they got sued by the tourism department. That's why we have a rule to only graffiti in places where it's not going to cause problems. This newbie doesn't seem to care though. They're spray painting people's homes and everything, even the ones on the main street. It sounds like it could be our culprit. Yep, the description's practically a perfect match with the rumors. What are you talking about? Sorry, don't mind them. We're looking for someone that's been doing some graffiti around town. Yes, someone that's been doing that graffiti. Any idea where we can find this newbie you were talking about? Never even met them ourselves. Not sure if they're just super stealthy or what. What we do know is that they're apparently pretty young. Now that you mention it, I did see some new graffiti over at the park when I last came through. Looked pretty fresh. Maybe you guys might want to try over there. That's a pretty good lead. Thanks, guys. Park's just up the stairs from here, right? Let's go check it out. So we're leading a trail back. Funnily on Wikipedia, griefing also links to Leroy Jenkins. Yeah, it's just a gaming term. Which, of course, we're playing a game, so I could understand griefing being used. But it just also sounds weird to be talking about graffiti being put on a shipping thing. I get it at the same time as, like, being like, I still find that odd. Oh, I meant past it. He was right, the ink's not even dry yet. They must have just been here. This one's just as impressive as the last. Yeah, you can really tell they have a gift for art. I guess some people are just drawn to this kind of thing. Kind of feels like there's this longing to be free. Honestly, if you showed this to an appraiser, I bet they'd tell you it was worth a load of money. You could put a price on a wall. I never even considered it. Yes, of course, everyone knows of Banksy, and he does Banksy does a graffiti, and then the thing that he did a graffiti on gets stolen. Wait, if that's true, don't you think the art could increase the value of Wilma's boat then? I mean, assuming the culprit really is the newbie they were talking about. Yeah, it's possible. You know, from how our client was talking, it sounded like he'd been in Mezzaldam for a long time. Given his reputation for culture, what with all the commerce, sightseeing, movies, and ballet, it seems kind of odd that he wouldn't know about the graffiti scene or how valuable it could be. Maybe he's just not into art. I mean, it probably just looks like scribbles to some people. Besides, I'm sure having a skull painted on the side of your trade vessel isn't very good for business. Yeah, I guess you got a point there. Looks like somebody's coming this way. Let's hide. If we're lucky, this might just be our little artist friend. Hide? Where exactly? Oh, let's try those stairs over there. Or we can do our stealth stuff. Love and violence. Oh my god, I know what movies you like. What's the rest say? What's a young girl doing out here at this hour? And all by herself? Seems like she's interested in that piece of graffiti. Phew. Those punks really freaked me out earlier. I think I'm in the clear for now, though. Just gotta add a bit more shading here and... perfect. People have to suffer because of love. What am I even doing, wasting all my time on this? I must be stupid or something. Ah, well, at least it helps me get all that pent-up energy out of my system. Looks like she's getting ready to leave. It seems like she's pretty good at avoiding people. My guess is she'll take off if we try to approach her now. Let's wait for her to get wherever she's going. Try to talk to her when she's less guarded. Follow the graffiti artist. Well, we've done a really bad job of it already by moving within 3 meters, 4 meters, 5 meters. If you get too close to the target, they will notice you. Conversely, if the target strays too far, their trail will be lost. Maintain a safe distance while keeping the target in sight. It's fine. That is not a hiding place. Also, I could just stand still for like the entire start of this sequence. Do-do-do-do-do. I'm minding my own business now. Minding my own beeswax. I'm so glad they put my least favorite minigame from the Judgment series into Trails. I mean, I am not personally a fan of stealth either. But it's not that complicated. Like, you can see me through here. I'm hiding between the open railings. What a great idea I've come up with. I know we're using shards as well, but if I leaned up, sat on the railing, and looked the other way a little bit, right? I'd look less conspicuous than kneeling down and staring at this woman from a distance. Van Arkride. Very bad at his job. I think she's going to that bench, by the way. Oh, we got SP! We are using stealth shards, yeah. Phew! Hey there, cold one out tonight, isn't it? Huh? Who the heck are you guys? Arkride Solutions. We're what you might call fixers. There's a job we're on right now, and we're kind of on the lookout for somebody. Listen, all we ask is that you hear us out. If you don't like what we have to say, we'll just tell our client we couldn't find him. But we're going to need you to be honest with us. Let's start with the most pressing question. You're the one that did the graffiti in the park, right? You wouldn't be asking if you hadn't seen me. Yeah, I did it. What's it to you? Alright, let's move on to question number 2 then. Did you graffiti a skull onto one of the ships in the harbour recently? Yeah, I think I did that one earlier this evening. The ship was so big, it's like it was made to be a canvas. You seem pretty proud of it. Sounds like we've got our culprit all right. The guy who owns that boat is looking for the person who's taken to decorating it. Sorry, but you're gonna have to come with us. Whatever, he just wants me to clean it off, right? Pretty funny that he'd send fixers after me for something so small. Don't you think you should be a little bit more remorseful, young lady? You're lucky he wants to resolve things peacefully. He could have called the police, you know. When you make a mess for somebody else, you gotta apologize for it. Yeah. I thought I'd try and make a break for it, but it sounds like that'd just make things worse. What a pain. Medica say. By the way, what's your name? We'd like to let your parents know what's going on. Name's Kisara, and I ain't got any parents. Oh, I didn't mean to... since you're probably asked, I ain't got a home neither. I'm a stowaway from Northumbria. Only landed in Meseldam a few weeks ago. What? A stowaway? Makes sense. Northumbria was in a pretty sorry state after that whole salt pail incident. But ever since they declared independence from the Empire, support for their rebuilding efforts has been on the rise. That's what I've heard too. Seems like an odd time to stow away though. Oh sure, everybody else was in good spirits. Must have been nice to get a fresh start. But I couldn't stand it. Everything felt so suffocating. My dad died when I was young. For a long time it was just me and my mum. But then 5 years ago, she had a rare disease and it was getting worse. There wasn't much the doctors could do, so they just put her on bed rest. But that's when the Northern War happened. And the Empire invaded Northumbria. Yeah, if I remember correctly, they even declared it a province of the Empire. That's right, for better or worse, they started reconstruction on Northumbria under their rule. After the war, a lot happened, we declared independence and life got easier for lots of people. And everyone who needed a doctor could finally get one. But as reconstruction went on, Mum kept getting worse and worse. The doctors said it was because she didn't get the treatment she needed from the start. And then, at the end of last year, I'm so sorry. We didn't mean to make you go through all that again. I don't need your pity. My mum always talked about wanting to live overseas someday. I think Calvard was the place she wanted to visit the most. She used to go on and on about all the legends you guys have here, like Grimcat and stuff. Said it sounded like an interesting place. Did she? So I figured now that I was on my own, what better place to go? But all these people here got it so good. Kind of ticks me off. Anyway, once I learned about graffiti, I just started doing it to pass the time. Nothing more to it than that, really. And now here you are. Where'd you get all the cans from? It must be an expensive hobby. Is it your story or mine? Whatever, it's fine. Let's just go talk to that ship guy so we can get this over with. Sounds to me like there's a little more going on here than just some graffiti. Let's deal with the request before we cross that bridge. Sounds good to me. I'll get in touch with our client. Van put in a call to Wilmer and gave him a quick explanation of everything that happened. Well, I certainly wasn't expecting a little girl to be the culprit. I don't care if it's graffiti or whatever you call it, but you can't just go around drawing on other people's property. Hey, aren't you going to apologize? Sorry I painted on your boat. Apology accepted. Now, as long as you agree to help us paint over the drawing, we'll consider the matter settled. Phew, glad that was the end of it. As for the rest of you, you have my sincere thanks. I'll have to walk her through the repainting process, so I'm afraid it's goodbye for now. Again, thanks for all your help. Van patted Kisara on the shoulder. It's not going to be easy, but make sure you do a good job, alright? Hey, don't go getting all touchy, you creep. Well then, with that, let me show you to our warehouse. You put a tracker on her? Good idea. Hey, where are we going? I thought we were headed to the boat. You didn't really believe that, did you? I assume that means you don't understand the gravity of your actions then. Allow me to explain. You see, the material used to coat the outer shell of my ship is of incredibly high quality. Your worthless graffiti has damaged it irreparably. I'll have to pay roughly 10 million mira to see it repaired. Did you really think something like that could simply be painted over? How would I know? You stupid. Shut up, shut up, shut up! Learn how to speak to your betters, you damn punk! My apologies. Yes, I've lost my decorum. Now, how do I get you to pay for this mess? Oh, I know, you can work for my company. Huh? Yes, that's an excellent idea. You could be our exclusive in-house artist. You know, I actually have a few contacts in the art world as well. I'm sure they'd be more than willing to pay for your work. Yes, what an amicable solution. So what do you say? Well, I need an answer. All right, I'll do it. Then we have a deal. Pleasure doing business. Of course things turned out like this. I always get the shortest end of the stick. These people, that goddess that just tossed me aside. I hate them all. Now, let me take you to this room I prepared for you. Don't worry, you'll be guaranteed food, clothes, and shelter. You'll never need to take a step out of my sight for the rest of your life. Sorry, but I don't think I'll be letting this one slide, Wilma. The Spriggan, as much as I appreciate your help from earlier, I'm afraid I must ask that you leave. Trespassing is not an act I take lightly. I think we'll be staying right here, actually. Especially after what we heard through the bug I placed on Kisara. You placed a bug on me? Is that why you patted me on the back? Did you now? And I assume you have a reason for going to such lengths? Sure do. See, when we first approached you about your request, you were talking like you'd been in Mezzaldam for a while. And if that's true, there's no way you wouldn't have already noticed. Kisara's art is crazy good. So good, in fact, that if someone were to sell it, they'd no doubt make a good deal of mirror. Huh? Plus, you were pretty quick to declare that the recent outbreak of graffiti and the art on your boat were done by the same person. That's because you have a keen eye for artists. While I appreciate the compliment, I think you might be overstating things. Did I not say that graffiti's all scribbles to me? We heard what you said about having your contacts in the art world by Kisara's work. I'm afraid there's no coming back from such a contradiction. Just admit it, Wilma. This entire time your goal has been to find some unknown uber-talented graffiti artist and use her as your personal cash cow. Wasn't it? And that's not even to mention that lie about the damages being 10 million mirror. That's just what Kisara's art would sell for. I'm only connecting the dots because Van said something to me earlier, but Wilma's come up as a suggested target in my Phantom Thief files in the past, which means now's my chance. Now, I can't believe it took me so long to notice, though. So what? We've already agreed to settle things, with her approval too. The way I see it, you have no right to complain. She only agreed because you threatened her. If you're thinking of reporting me to the police, I would reconsider. After all, doing so would likely place the blame squarely on your own shoulders. I mean, think about it, you illegally barged into my warehouse, assaulted me, and even attempted to steal all my valuables. You think they'll believe something like that? Well, you said it yourself. I've been in business in Mezzaldam for quite some time. I've got a certain amount of sway around here, enough to cover up any mistakes even. Now it's high time you meddlers saw your way out, I think. Don't you agree? What are we going to do, Van? We can't just let him go. We'll lose out if we keep pushing. None of our normal methods are going to work here. That said, I'm not exactly keen on letting scheming old men get their way. Guess the only thing we can do now is leave it in her hands. Huh? What was that? A card? It can't be. If evil hides in darkness, then my justice will be a shining light. Grimcat at your service. I've come to take a special treasure from a certain villain. Grimcat? Isn't she just some silly legend? And what do you mean a special treasure? Are you talking about this girl? You're delusional if you think I'll lose to you. What? Recovery successful. When did you... Could it really be? Hold on, what exactly is happening here? Don't worry, you can leave the rest to me. Not too shabby. So that's who he was talking about. Listen up, from this moment on the child is mine. You try to take my things and you better be prepared for retribution. I'll steal your entire fortune and spread it across all of Mezzaldam. Don't think you can intimidate me with your bluffing. Want to try me? For starters, how about I take all the mirror you piled up from not paying your taxes? Then I think I'll take your secret account book and parade it around town. It's hidden behind a door that can only be opened by a single key, right? One that's on you at all times? How could you possibly know that? Are you truly a phantom thief? Seems you still don't understand the position you're in. I take it that means your status and ill-gotten gains mean less to you than I thought. No, please, wait! You win, I just have to pull back from the girl, right? How half-hearted can you get? Say it with your chest or not at all. Damn it, alright, I swear I'll leave her alone. I'll never interact with the kid ever again. Are you happy now, thief? You act too big for your britches, but fine. I suppose I'll accept it. Pray we never run into each other again, criminal, unless I bid you adieu. Grimcat then picked up Kisara, jumped out of the warehouse, and disappeared into the dark of the night. Damn it all! How did that Grimcat end up finding a way here? Everything was going so well. Well, that's the end of that. We can just leave this guy here. Let's get going. Yeah, right behind you. Phew, I thought my heart was going to explode back there. I never thought I'd actually get to meet Grimcat, though. She even saved me. Yeah, it's a miracle she managed to show up, right, Judith? Come on, no need to act all sulky about things. I wouldn't be acting so sulky if someone didn't wait until the last second to give me the signal. You guys didn't happen to see where she ran off to after she brought me outside, did you? She told me to wait for you all to show up. Are you friends of hers or something? Oh, no, not us. That'd be crazy. Let's just say we bumped into her a few times. Oh, well, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Anyway, I wanted to thank you all for coming to rescue me, I mean. Still can't believe that old guy was such a creep, though. And I screamed like such a little girl, too. Ugh. Hey, there's nothing to worry about. I mean, I was pretty freaked out myself. Let's just be glad that everything worked out in the end. Oh, I almost forgot. Grimcat gave me a message to pass along. Huh? What did she say? She said I may have told him that you were mine, but the truth is you're free now. Oh, that's a little sad to hear. You think so? Why is that? Don't worry, it's alright. She's done more than enough for me already. I'm not sure how to put it, but I guess the world isn't such a bad place after all. I wish I knew how to thank her for saving me. Maybe I'll try giving some more thought to my future. I've kind of been doing whatever I felt like since coming to Messeltown, but it might just be time for a change. Sounds like a good plan to me, anyway. And if there's anything we can do while we're in the area, just give us a holler. We can give some pretty good discounts to our success stories, you know. Can't let the act down for a minute, can you, Van? Thanks, I appreciate it. And with that, the curtain closed on the case of the creative culprit. With the reward they got from Wilmer in hand, Van and the others went back to preparing for their big heist.
That's one job behind us.
Mirror deposit confirmed.
The artist is complete with, yeah, I could understand why there was chaos in that. Between you guys and Grimcat, maybe this world ain't such a crap hole after all. Anyway, I'll stop worrying about where to go from here tomorrow. Tonight was too much for me. I'm drop dead tired.